When we decided to swap over to digital, we were very concerned because it was going to be on a Wallace and Gromit film, and by that point I've sort of established a Wallace and Gromit look, which is based on film. And I used to love film, and I always thought that film actually was part of our process as well, because in filming models, I thought the things like the film grain is part of what kept it alive in that as well. Yeah, they're filming models. There's sort of a certain livingness in the in the film itself, the grain structure. So I took a lot of convincing actually to swap to digital, but we decided we'd try it out for the last half-hour Wallace and Gromit film, Matter of Loaf and Death.
Don't worry, I've got a great idea.
First of all, I tried Nikon cameras. Didn't like the results at all, really. The Nikons I found were very prone to exaggerate the reds. And I actually shot a scene in Wallace's front room of his brightly coloured wallpaper, and the reds were just singing out. So I didn't like that. I tried a Canon camera, and surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but luckily the Canon camera was very sympathetic to the palette of Wallace and Gromit. And it's a palette which he developed over a long time. The art directors on the initial Wallace and Gromit films had created a palette of colours that was sympathetic to the plasticine, always putting bits of white in there and stuff. So that the colour palette was quite important, and the Canon camera captured it admirably. So we used an EOS 1D 2s, I think it was, the first cameras we used for that. For lenses to start with, we tried a variety of lenses, some Zeiss ones. I think even a lights lens as well, which we did try out, which I found were a bit too sharp, really. Again, they weren't sympathetic to model characters. They were too detailed, really. Whereas I found that old Nikon lenses were great. Had the right sort of contrast, but the edges rolled off nicely. Anyway, we quite like the Nikon glassware, really. So that's what we started using. Although I think there's a whole mixture of lenses on the first one, on the Loaf and Death film. Eventually we decided on the Nikon lenses, and again had them all remounted so they'd actually they'd have smooth focus pulls and that, and they'd close focus. The other thing as well, I certainly love to use like Cooke lenses or whatever. However, again, as I say, we have to go in mob-handed when we're actually shooting a film. So when we've got something like up to 45 cameras on the go, which we have. Not all going constantly, but you've got to have an arsenal of lenses, and I mean like a set of lenses almost for every camera. It would be quite expensive really to kit out that many cameras, that many lenses. So the Nikon was a good solution really to a good reliable lens that we could actually mass own, if you like.